Where do you go from here? What do you do now?
I just create. I want to keep creating art that changes people's hearts for the positive. More spoken words. Actually, my next spoken word that I'm working on now is about religion. So that should be very, very powerful when I release that.
What do you have to say about religion?
I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. I have a lot to say. Humans, we seem to pervert the messages like we were talking about earlier. Like everybody says the same thing about love, forgiveness, peace, but we like to have our own interpretations of it and make the interpretations fit our egos, you know? So I'm gonna talk about that. The worship of money, for instance. I don't think that building huge temples and gaudy places like this is the best use of revenue for churches. I think that the money can be allocated in other ways that could actually help people. I also think that it's actually a show. I think it comes on VH1 or something. It's about these pastors living in this extravagant lifestyle. They got women and cars and houses, and they actually rationalize, intellectualize the religion to fit their ego. So,
do you think God has a problem with wealth?
Not necessarily. I don't think there's anything wrong with having money or being wealthy. It's our attachments to it, like you said. It's really your heart, you know, because money will never, you know, give you happiness. You know, it's so many wealthy people that have committed suicide that are no longer with us. People that win the lottery, end up going, you know, suicide rates are incredible when you look at the statistics. But
we were talking the other day about Martin Luther King, because Martin Luther King was a philanderer, but he was not perfect. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. None of us are.
Right.
And somebody said to me, how can you like Martin Luther King when he was not a good guy? How could God probably use it? Are you telling me God didn't use Martin Luther King? Are you telling me that wasn't a man of God? And I thought to myself, how many people did God have to go through that were perfect, that had all of it, that said, no, I'm not going to do that?
Yeah, I mean, we have to accept the flaws in ourselves first before we can accept them in others. That's the thing. We don't love ourselves, and you can't love anybody else unconditionally until you love yourself unconditionally.
Forgive yourself.
And forgive, yeah, it comes with it. Forgive yourself, yep, absolutely. And know that the potential for growth exists too, but you accept yourself for where you are right now at this present moment. Everything that you've done in the past.
That is so hard.
Yeah, it can be, definitely.
I think that's one of our biggest problems is, and that's why so many of us want to win, because we've set up this system of, I've been fighting this battle. And you get so vested in your answer. And if you admit, you know, halfway through, almost everything in my life I've screwed up, and almost everything in my life I have a different opinion on than what I did when I was 20. You know what I mean? And you have to be able to say, that was stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking, but that was stupid.
Yeah. Humility, right? That's the key. That's the key. Humility. Failure actually is one of the greatest things that can happen to somebody, because it brings you closer to God. You know, it introduces you to yourself. You know, winning is good, but it exacerbates the ego and a lot of other things. But failure is so beautiful if you can actually sit with it and take the lessons from it.
I love you. I don't know how many people you have it nailed. When you come back, please bring your parents.
I will bring them,
I want to meet your parents. I just want to shake their hands and say, you're the greatest. They need like a trophy or something. This is the best.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing great things. And I tell you a secret, when I was at Fox, and we had, this couch actually was I had the sweetest apartment in New York you've ever seen. It was so sweet. It was a childhood dream. And I'm getting ready to leave, and my wife and I decided to leave, and we were gonna go tell him the next day that we were leaving. And that day, everything good happened to me. Every childhood, everything I ever wanted happened that day. And I wanted it really bad. And I stood in my apartment at night, it was about midnight, and I looked out over the city. It was just, my life was perfect. And I said, this can't be God's plan. What are we doing? My wife just said, I'm going to bed, because we'd already talked about it. We'd already decided. She knew. And I thought, I heard, if you don't leave now, you won't leave with your soul. And it came to mind that once you start to want it, you're in trouble. Don't want the success that's coming your way, because it's coming. Don't want it.
Yeah. They say wanting is actually the most assured way of suffering. When you want things, you know, so. Absolutely. Yeah, all I can do is just be here and create, you know, and let go of the outcome.
You're the best.
Thank you, Glenn. I appreciate you.
Thank you.